Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa
Wa
rahmatullah.
alaikum assalam, mashallah. How's everyone doing?
Alhamdulillah.
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 How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Mashallah, most of you did an excellent job on the homework. May Allah reward you, all of you. Okay.
Brother Abed, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ji.
Brother, I had a couple of questions and I think I wrote them on whatever little bit I did.
Okay.
Especially if for that table, maybe if you can clarify, there were a couple of, I think, misprints. You did mention in the last lecture, but I must have missed it.
Okay.
I know you did mention though.
Yeah, there was one where it says Muslimatin.
Yeah.
It was supposed to say Muslimatun.
And is that for only Muslimatun or for other two as well? I'm just looking on the table here.
The thing is, when you are doing Jama Salim,
Yeah.
okay, let me see if I can find it for you.
It says Muslimatin in every thing, Marfu, Mansoob, and Majroor.
Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So Muslimatun is
Okay.
the Jama Salim Muannas.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter what is the word, the ending sound for Rafa will be Atun.
Correct.
And for Nasab and Jar is going to be Atin, Atin. So the example we had was Muslimatun.
Yeah.
If I have something else like Sabiratun or Sabira, then Sabiratun, Sabiratin.
Okay, that's fine. I think I corrected it right, but I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, that is what the ending sound. Remember that ending sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is what it is. Okay. Okay. Now, before I move on, is there any questions for me based on what the exercises you did? And there are still some missing a lot of people here. I'm only 14 online. Usually I have more than 20. So let's hope that more people join soon.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, Mama, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Inshallah, everyone's doing well. So, I guess I was just wondering if we could do one or two from the patterns of the broken plural for the nasab and jar. One or two examples.
Okay. So, for example, you're saying that I have this slide. This one, right? Can you see it?
Okay, yeah.
Can you guys see this? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna write down few here so that I can switch over to my camera, right? So there is one called Talibun, right? So this is the Wahid, correct? And the meaning of Talib is student. What is the Jama? Tullabun, right? It is the Jama Mukassar. You wanted to see the example of Jama Mukassar, right?
Yes. Oh, I don't think we can see your tablet.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
I can see your screen, yes.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm writing it down and then I'll give you the details of it in a little bit. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So the next one is, I'm just gonna take a few. Tajirun, right? Tajirun, the Jama is Tujarun. Yes, so far so good. Okay, let's take one more. Let's say Rajulun, and the Jama is Rijalun.
Brother, which one was the second one you picked up? Tajarun?
Tajir. Yeah.
Tajir.
I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so
Yeah.
I have picked it, these few, and now I'm going to go back to my camera. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is, Sister Umema wants to see the variation of these three things. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And she wants to see the Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. So we know that if we put it like this, Wahid, Musanna, and then Jama. Yes? So Talib, the Rafa will be Talibun, right? That will be Rafa. What will be the Nasab?
Taliban.
Taliban.
Taliban. Why did I add the alif? Because this is Muzakkar.
Because
Muzakkar, right? Muzakkar means it's a male.
Yeah.
So now, what is the jar?
Taliban.
Tali. Making sense?
Yes.
So, and we said when is wahid and when is jama mukassar, which is the broken plural. So we need to know the word. The jama is tullabun. So tali will become tullabun. Nasa will become tulla, actually tullaban, tullabin. Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you do it. So the formula is, this is group 1, which is Wahid and Jama Mukassar. You look at the last letter, and Dammatan is Rafa, Fatatan is Nasab, and Kasratan is Ja. Okay? So
Yeah.
this chart I have given you guys, and not only that you find out the Jama Mukassar, but it is also vocabulary.
Yeah.
Right? Because Talib mean a student, Tajir mean a trader, Rajul mean a man. Okay, so if we do the other one, Tajirun, Tajiran, Tajirin.
And the mutanna will be just like all the others, right?
Musanna, because Musanna has its own rule. So if we want to look at the Musanna one, we have to say Tali Bani. Rafa will be Talibani, right? Nasab will be, Nasab and Jar will be Tali Baini. Making sense? Question about this. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember the rules. The rules, as if I make that same thing again, if I show you that. So group 1, Wahid, Jama Mukassar, the criteria, Haraka on the last letter. Rafa, Nasab and Jar, look at the Haraka on the last letter. An, in. Fatatan, Dammatan, Fatatan, Kasratan. Group 2, Musanna, ending sound. Ani sound and the Aini sound. Muslimani, Muslimaini. Okay. Then group 3 was Jama Salim, and we have two categories, Muzakkar and Muannas. In Muzakkar, the ending sound for Rafa is Una, and for the Nasab and Jar is Ina. Muslimuna, Muslimina. Muslimuna, Muslimina. For the Muannas, Atun, Atin, Atin.
Yes.
Everybody clear on that now?
Brother, it's clear, but that sometimes I think like Kasra and Talibani should be Kasra, but we put Fatah. So it kind of confuses sometimes a little bit with just the wrong harka.
That's fine. Inshallah, you can practice will make it perfect. Now, tell me,
Like,
everybody. Yeah, Brother Abdul, go ahead.
yeah, I thought the last one when you said Talibani, but you wrote Talibana.
Did I?
Yeah. So,
Okay, here. Taliban.
no, Musanna.
Talibani, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Taliban. Yeah, there you
People
go.
like me, when they go back to the notes, they may.
Yes, I'm sorry I made a mistake.
No, that's fine. I
Yeah.
didn't mean that,
Yeah,
Thank
no
you very
worries.
much.
No worries. Okay, so now since most of you did the homework and you write it down with your own hands, how do you feel? Give me some feedback that after doing the homework, what is your own feeling and understanding about the subject?
Shall I start, brother?
Anyone? Bismillah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Brother, I think I should have done it from day one.
Right,
Let me put it this way.
yes.
I After writing, I had to go through couple of things, couple of times as well,
Mhm.
and finally, I decided to do one which we had done already, and
Mhm.
send it to you, so that once I get the feedback, then I'll do the rest of them.
Inshallah.
But I think that is the key, using your own hand and your own pen, and the paper.
And it
Uh,
works because your mind can coordinate with your hands, and
yeah,
then the theory becomes reality, right? The
yeah,
thing you have been listening, hearing a lot. When you're doing it with your own hand, then you say, oh, okay, now I see how it's done, right? And then you
absolutely.
start to make these mistakes and then you correct yourself, and that correction actually put it in the good memory for you, right?
Yeah,
Anybody
I
else?
don't know if I made mistakes in.
Mistakes are good. Mistake. If you don't make mistakes, then you're not gonna learn.
No, trial 2 and trial 3. I did them.
Yes.
Sorry, drill 2 and drill 3.
Yes.
I know I must have made some mistakes, but inshallah I'll take it offline, maybe with you later.
Yeah, no problem. I quickly glanced over everybody's homework, and most of it was correct. So that's why I did not spend too much time on it, inshallah, but we'll look into it. So other people should give me some feedback on the homework.
Oh, Brother Abid, Assalamu alaikum. This is
Welcome.
Noor.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Yes, I feel very good. I went through the names what you gave in the chat, and I submitted one as homework. But now I realize I didn't make one mistake though, and
You
I
didn't
know
make any
that
mistake.
someone else made it. Yes, I did. So what I did, I forgot to add alif for
The muzakkar.
Nasar. Yes, Muzakar singular.
That's okay. Now you
Nasar,
know.
alif.
So
No, I know. That's good. Yeah.
right. So
That's
that is the
nice.
benefit of writing it down and doing it with your own hand, inshallah. So I think it's a good exercise. And those people who have not done it yet, it's okay. You can do it over the weekend. So from the next class, submit your homework. That will be a good exercise. Anybody else? Anyone else? Nobody wants to say anything?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam wa
Yeah.
rahmatullah.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, Sister Fazila. How are you?
Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah. For me, I am a visual person, so for like if I see and I practice with my own hand,
Yeah.
that way it stay in my mind than just looking at it, and I think that okay, it stayed in my head, but then maybe just a few days or a few hours, then I think it's not 100% there. So I think it's better if we practice by hands.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Now you saw that even I make mistakes, even though I write it so much. It's because
Yeah,
sometimes our mind and our hands are not in coordination with each other, right?
yeah, and
So So, but more practice will make you more perfect, inshallah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if, what is the time? It's almost 10:15. So instead of me taking more time, I want to cover one important concept today, because we are still on the subject of number and status. So while it's fresh in our mind, I want to cover this one very important subject. And if you guys pay attention and stay with me and learn this one as goodly as you have learned the number and status of the noun, then this will be a game changer, because in the Quran, these things are repeated like hundreds of times. Okay. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about a pronoun. Okay. So now instead of getting confused that what a pronoun, what is the difference, and just take it easy and try to understand what I'm saying. So we know that there are 8 or 3 parts of speech. Okay. And we have covered them as noun, particle, and verb. These 2 we are not touching yet. Okay. But in the noun category, we have something called pronoun, adjectives, adverbs. So these, in the English language, there are 8, right? So 5 of them are condensed into noun. So a pronoun is
Yeah.
also a noun. Making sense? Now, when I give you an example, it will start to make sense. So in English, I would say Abid came, he sat down, he left after 20 minutes. So what did I do here? In the first sentence, I said Abid. Yes? But what did I do in the next sentence? I used the word he. And I use the word he. Who am I talking about when I say he?
Abid.
Abid, right? So pronouns, also known as personal nouns, are when they are used instead of a noun. So instead of a noun, I say he. If there was a female, if I say there was somebody named Abida, then what will be the pronoun? She,
He.
right? And if I say book, what will be the English for pronoun? It. Yes? He, she, it. Are we familiar with this in English language? This is for male, this is for female, and this is we use for something not gender-wise, right? But in Arabic, we only have he and she. Even when it is it is going to be he. Making sense? Is that making sense, guys? Okay. All right. So if our noun is huwa, let me make the chart again. Wahid, Musanna, and Jama. Okay. And if I take the Muzakkar example first, before I go in there, one more thing I want to explain. When we are using personal pronouns, there is another dimension which get added. We have he, she, it. Then we also have you, both of you, and you all. Making sense? And then we also have I, both of us, and we. Making sense? Is everybody muted or what?
Yes, it makes sense.
That's true. I am muted too. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like people are muted. So in this dimension is known as third person. What is it known as? Third person, because you're talking about somebody. Okay, this one you is called second person, and the I is first person. If you get that, inshallah, when I give you the Arabic table, you will understand what I mean by that. So if I want to say huwa is
E.
he. Is it wahid?
Why? Yes.
And is muzakkar? Yes.
Yes.
Musanna will be
Homa.
homa,
Homa.
right? And the jama will be
Homa.
hum. Is that mean both of them and all of them? Basically, they. This is the word they. Hum is they. Huwa is he. Huma is for two men. Yes? So then what was the next thing we talked about? We said we also have a rafa, and we have nasab, and we have jar. Okay? This table you see is of kind nasab. Actually, rafa. We're not gonna cover nasab and jar in this one. This table is rafa. So if I ask you, give me the rafa wahid of he, you're going to say huwa.
Hua.
If I say give me musanna rafa, you're going to say huma. And if I say give me rafa jama, you're gonna say hum.
Mudakar.
Muzakkar. Yes? And remember, we covered this before Ramadan as well, right? Okay. So if this is the case, I'm just going to stay with the one line, third person first, so that, because when I give all the possible combination, then I see that people get really confused. So let's take one thing at a time. I'm going to talk about only third person, and I'm only going to talk about the muzakkar. Okay? Now, if we go back to our previous lesson, we said Muslimun, Muslimani, Muslimuna. Is this wahid of Muslim?
Yes.
Is it rafa?
Yes.
Is Muslimani rafa for musanna?
Yes.
Is this rafa for jama?
Yes.
Yes. So now imagine if I say Muslimun, meaning a Muslim, right? And this means two Muslim. And this means more than two. Yes?
Yes.
Now watch this. Huwa Muslimun. Huwa
We can't see.
Muslimun. You can't see it?
Okay, better.
Yeah. Huwa Muslimun, meaning he is
Is
Muslim.
Muslim.
If I want to say Muslimani, I'm going to say Huma
Homa.
Muslimani. Those two men are Muslims. And Hum Muslimuna. Making sense?
Yes.
Do you see the Hum Muslimun mean they are Muslims? More than two people. More than two men are Muslims. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So now do you see another thing here? That with the Wahid came the Wahid. With the dual came the dual. With the plural came the plural. Yes? So there is a following. You cannot say hum Muslimun and you cannot say huwa Muslimuna. Can you say huwa Muslimuna? Would it sound good or make sense?
No.
No. So with the right number, you have to use the correct noun. So huwa wahid, Muslimun wahid. Huma musanna, Muslimani, musanna. Hum jama, Muslimuna jama. Now, this is because it's rafa, we're also using the rafa here. Okay, if I say huwa tajirun, what is the meaning?
Merchant.
He is a trader
Businessman.
or he's a
Trader.
merchant. Huma taji tajirani. Hum
Tajiruna.
tujarun.
Tujarun.
Remember that? Tujarun?
Yeah.
Because it's a jama mukassar.
Mukas.
Any questions about that?
No.
Let's do it again. Okay. I want to say Wahid, Musanna, and Jama. We did the third person. What was the information? Huwa, Huma, Hum. I'm only dealing with Muzakkar. That was number one. Okay. Let me go to number two. Second person. Second person. Third person is he, she, it. Second person is you, both, you, all. Yes? So I'm
Yes.
going to say anta, you. Antuma,
Tuma and
you too.
Antum.
Antum, you.
All.
all. Making sense?
yes.
So if you use the English terminology, then it's not difficult because you're already familiar with that. So if I say, are these all rafa? Yes, they're all rafa. Huwa, huma, hum, anta, antuma, antum. Okay, how do I make it a sentence? I would say, anta muslimun, antuma muslimani,
Muslimani.
antum
And Muslimun.
muslimun. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So now you can see what am I doing here. Now, did you notice one thing? That the pronoun is not connected with the other noun. Is it connected?
No.
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 So these kind of nouns are known as detached. Detached pronouns. And the rule you need to remember, detached pronouns is always rafa. So this is rafa, this is rafa, this is rafa. Detached pronouns, third person. Anta, antuma, antum, detached pronouns, second person, rafa. Rafa, they all are rafa. So if I ask you without giving you this piece of paper, I said, give me the rafa pronouns, give me third person for muzakkar, you're going to say huwa, huma, hum. If I say, give me the rafa for second person, you're going to say anta, antuma, antum. Yes? So then the third one will be first person, which will be I, we two, we all. Right? Ana, and then nahnu, and nahnu. So musanna for nahnu, and so basically we can eliminate one and we can say it's ana and nahnu. Ana mean I, nahnu means we. Okay. So how am I going to say ana
Muslimun.
muslimun? I am Muslim. Nahnu muslimani. How many am I talking about?
Two.
Two. Nahnu
Muslimun.
muslimuna. We all are Muslims. Is that making sense, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, is that muthanna and the jama'a both nahnu and
In
nahnu?
the first person, if you see a nahnu with the musanna, that means we too.
Okay.
Yes.
And
And if you
it's
say nahnu with the jama salim or jama, then it is we all.
oh, okay, okay.
Making sense? So if we condense this chart, then the heading will be detached pronouns. Status is rafa. Yes. And then the chart will look like this. So we are going to make this chart. Okay. I'm going to put here wahid, musanna, jama, right? And then you are going to say third person, and it's all muzakkar. So huwa, huma, hum. Huwa, huma, hum. Okay. Then the second person will be
Anta.
And
anta,
Antuma.
antuma,
Antum.
antum. And then the third person will be ana,
Ana. Nahnu.
and I would say we just put nahnu like that. So if you remember this chart, you have remembered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 6 more for the female. We have only covered the muzakkar one, but they are similar. So once we are clear on this, then we can also cover the female one. Question about this? Okay, let's do some exercise together so that we know what we're talking about. The word I want to say is talibun, right? And the word I want to make, or the sentence is, I'm going to say, he is a student. So who's going to give me the Arabic of he's a student?
هو طالب.
Talibun.
Huwa talibun. Okay. Now, if I want to say they, both of them are students, what are we going to say?
Huma Talibani.
Huma
Taliban.
talibani. Okay. And if I say all of them, they are a student. What will be the English, the Arabic?
هم طالبون.
Hum
طلاب.
tulabun.
Tulabun.
Why? Because this is the Jama Mukassar. Okay. Now you see how the knowledge of the number and the gender and the status is playing a role, and now you're all coming together. Yes. Now, different group of people answer this question. I want to say you are a student. Arabic, please.
Anta
Anta,
Talibun.
anta
Talibun.
talibun. Very good job. And
Antuma.
both of you are students.
Antuma
Taliban.
Antuma
Talibani.
talibani. Right? And then antum, all of you are
Talibun. No.
talabun.
Tulabun.
طلاب.
Yes. That is why that table is important to memorize. Remember, the Jama Salim is easier. We know that we have to add the una sound, but Jama Mukassar is the one where it goes off the chart, right? And if I say I am a student, what am I going to say, brother Altaf?
أنا طالب.
Ana
طالب.
talibun. Okay. And
نحن
then if I want to
طالبان.
say nahnu, both of us are students.
نحن طالبان.
Nahnu talibani.
نحن
Nahnu
طلاب.
tullabun, mashallah. Okay. So what is tullabun? What is the status of tullabun?
رفع.
Rafa. Is hum rafa or is it nasab or jar?
Rafa.
Rafa.
Okay. Can I say huwa tulabun?
No.
No.
Why? Because this is wahid and this is jama. There has to be, you know, equality in there.
Number should be equal.
Number should be equal. They should follow each other. Okay. If you are clear on this, then today maybe I should not cover the female gender one, but we have said that this chart is the detached pronoun rafa. So what you should put in your memory is this, that huwa, huma, hum, anta, antuma, antum, ana, nahnu is a detached pronouns and is in the status of rafa. The chart for the nasab and jar is different, which we'll cover at a different time. But imagine that how you use this. Huwa, antuma, antum, anta muslim, antuma muslimani, antum muslimuna. So you need to know how to use these. And these are the good example. And if I give you some exercises, maybe by the time you do it with your own hand, you will start to see the difference. Okay. So now, in the last class, we did not get a chance to cover our verse. So I want to switch over to my other screen. Um, so let me try this. And where do I want to go? Okay, here and this one. Okay. So tonight after Maghrib, the Jummah has already started, the day of Jummah. So basically, if you're going to read Surah Al-Kahf, you can do it, either read it tonight or tomorrow morning. We are covering Surah Al-Kahf. We are on verse number. Let's see. We are 6. This is 7, 8, and 6. Do you guys remember what did we cover in the previous verses? Roughly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed the book on his slave, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which there is no crookedness. And in it is a warning for the people and also good news. And what else? That the people who have believed and they do righteous deed, they will have gardens and they will live in there forever. Versus the other people, they have a severe warning from them. And then there are people who said that Allah has taken a son, and they themselves and their forefathers have no knowledge about what they're saying. So this is a really bad thing what they say. So far, roughly, this is what we have covered in the previous verses. Okay, so today we are going to read ayah number 6, and in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, "Fala allaka." Fala allaka means that then perhaps you would be. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam because when he was given the task of inviting people to Islam, nobody was listening to him and they were actually giving him hard time, and he used to take it to his heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is consoling him that looks like it, you are going to kill yourself based on because of the people not listening to you, right? So fala allaka, it has a pronoun in it, which is the fa is a prefixed resumption particle. That is mean then. Allaka, Allah is perhaps, and this ka is a pronoun, but we haven't covered it yet in the review. This pronoun is attached to the pronoun, to the noun, right? So if it's attached, today what did we cover? We cover the detached one. This is coming next week. Inshallah, on Monday we'll talk about the ka one. But from here, if you guys remember, what is the ka mean? You. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to Prophet Muhammad that perhaps you would be bakhiun, the one who kills nafsaka, yourself, ala, over asarihim, their footsteps, if not illam yu'minu, if they do not believe. So in other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that if they do not believe, you're taking it so much to the heart that you're almost going to kill yourself by just worrying about them so much. Because what they don't believe, bihazal hadisi, in this the narration, asafa, that you are feeling so much grief that you are pretty much going to kill yourself. Is that making sense?
Yes.
So what is asafa here? Is it a noun or is it a verb?
It's a noun.
No.
And what can you tell me about this noun? What status is it?
The nasab.
Nasab.
And is it muzakkar or muannas?
Muzakkar.
How do you know is a muzakkar?
Alif.
Because
Alif and
Alif
Lam.
at the end.
So the meaning of asafa is grief. In Urdu, we have a word called tassuf. Have you heard about afsos? Have you heard the word afsos? Afsos. So asafa is the same thing. It's because most of the words in Urdu language come from Arabic. Al hadith, is it common noun or proper noun?
Is a
Proper.
noun.
Proper noun. And what kind of status is it has?
Jar.
Jar. How do you come to the conclusion that is jar?
The harakat.
The last letter has
Kasrat.
Last letter. And what time you look at the last letter? In which number capacity is the category?
The wahid and
Wahid.
Jama
Is it
Mukassar.
wahid or is it jama mukassar?
The wahid.
Okay, good job. So it's a wahid, so you look at the last letter and the kasra is telling you that it is jar. And what is, when somebody is in a jar, what do you call it?
Majroor.
It's majroor, mashallah. Okay, haza. What is haza?
this.
Ishara.
Ishara, right? Yes, this haza means this, but what is the name of it? It's a demonstrative pronoun. It is a demonstrative pronoun. See that? Demonstrative pronoun. Now, what is the one thing we talked about in the last lecture when we talked about the flexibility? That what is haza? Haza belongs to which category? Flexible or non-flexible?
Non-flexible.
Non-flexible. So it's gonna be haza, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But in this ayah or in this verse, if they're saying is jar or majroor, why are they saying is jar or majroor?
Is it the jar state?
Because it's connected to hadith, al hadith.
No. Look, it's
Al hadith.
it's not haza, it's bi haza. So what is the letter ba mean? Or the
Because the B is a harf.
It's a preposition, right? Right? It's a preposition. And what happens when a preposition is followed by a noun? The noun becomes
jar.
Jar. So that is why, because if I say haza, it's very hard to tell whether it's rafa, nasab or jar, because it does not change its status in all three categories, right? Rafa will be haza, nasab will be haza, jar will be haza. But in this verse or in this word, the reason I can tell it's a jar is because there was a preposition behind it. Okay? So what is yuminu? Yuminu is a verb. We did not cover it yet, so I'm just going to leave it alone. In is if. What is the meaning of in?
If.
In. It is a conditional particle. Harf-e-shart. You know what harf-e-shart mean? People who know Pakistani Urdu language, they know what shart mean.
What is conditional particle?
Condition. Meaning if is a condition. After that, something has to come. That if they do not believe. So the condition is, it seems like you're gonna kill yourself if they do not believe on this message you brought out of grief, out of worrying so much about them. So Rasulullah ﷺ was so worried about people when they do not listen to his advice and when they do not believe in the message of Allah. He used to worry about them. He used to get really worried about them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you are so worried about them is as if you're going to kill yourself. Okay, so this verse means وَلَأَلَّكَ بَاخِيٌ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ إِن لَّمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَٰذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا إِنَّ جَعَلْنَا Ma alal ardi zinatallaha. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying inna. Inna, indeed, we. Where is the indeed coming from?
In.
Inna. Because
And
inna
then the
is, remember, we learned about it before Ramadan. It is a pronoun and it is accusative particle. So harf nasab wa na, zamir mutassir. Inshallah, we will go more in detail about this. But right now, inna means indeed we. Ja'alna, again, this na means we have made. Ma, what? Alal ardi zinatallaha. What we have done, that we, what is on the earth, adornment for it. That we have made the earth a beautiful place. Linabluwahum, so that we may test ayyuhum, which of them ahsanu amala is best in their deeds. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done, He created us, made the earth for us, send us to the earth so that He can test us and which one of us is good in their deeds. So amala, what is amala?
Deeds.
It's a noun or is
Amal.
it a verb?
It's a noun. Amal.
Is it wahid?
Yes. Wahid.
Is it muzakkar?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it nasab?
Yes.
Yes.
Rafa.
Rafa?
Oh, okay.
Nasab.
It's a
No,
nasab.
Nasab. Nasab.
Okay. So
Alif.
why am I stressing on that? Because now, just by looking at this one noun, you can tell me 4 or 5 things about it, right? It's nasab, it's muzakkar, and we also know that the capacity is indefinite because it's not a proper noun. Okay? Everybody else with me, or I don't hear anybody saying anything? Brother Kabir, are you with us today?
Yes, I muted, so you know.
Very quiet.
No, I don't want to disturb because of the voice of my.
Okay. So, are you guys benefiting from this analysis, or am I giving like too much information?
It's beneficial. Alhamdulillah.
It's fine.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wa inna laja'iluna ma alayha sayyidan juruza, then indeed we will surely make what is on it a soil barren. Meaning when the zalzala of akhirah will come, then this earth will become like a barren land. So here, today I wanted to see examples of the detached pronoun, but so far we haven't come across any. So la ja'iluna mean, what is ja'iluna sound like?
Verb.
It's a
Made.
verb. Is it a verb or is it a noun?
It's a noun.
Noun, plural, jama.
Yes. And is it a jama salim or jama mukassar?
Jama salim.
Jama salim.
Salim.
Why? Because you can see
Una.
the una sound, right?
Una.
Yeah.
So now those little pieces of things we learn, they should help you in identifying that. Oh, it's una sound, that means it's a jama salim. And is it a rafa or is it nasab?
Nasab.
Is the una sound nasab sound?
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's Rafa.
Rafa.
It says ismi marfu right here.
Abid, is ja'iluna noun or verb?
This here in this one is saying it's a noun. Okay? Ja'iluna. So yeah, I would myself would say this is a verb, but it's not. In this situation, it's not. They're calling it a noun. So I don't know why, but it's saying it's a nominative, masculine, plural, active participle.
Yeah. Otherwise, ja'ala is verb, yeah?
Yeah, ja'ala is verb, yes.
Jala.
Okay. So again, inshallah, look at these verses when you're reading next time, and it will really help you if you start paying attention like this. So alayha is basically a pronoun which is an attached pronoun, and we haven't looked at it yet. So inshallah, we'll do it next time. Okay. So going back to my slides here, I hope and I wish you guys can memorize these. So if you haven't looked at it yet, so let's look at together. A walad, waladun, it means child. So can you see this screen by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so awladun mean children.
Brother, Assalamu alaikum, brother.
What's wrong?
Brother, one thing which it says fa'alun, fi'alun, af'alun, fa'ulun. Can we
Yes.
explain that as well?
Sure. When we are going to talk about verbs, we are going to talk about patterns. Okay. And the verb pattern is fa'ala. The very basic verb pattern is fa'ala. What is it?
Allah.
Fa'ala. Right? So how many letters in it? 3. Fa, Ain, and Lam. Yes? So these are the variation of that fa'ala, that it can have a pattern of fa'alun, fi'alun, af'alun, fa'ulun. Making sense?
Okay, yeah.
Right? So that means these broken plurals are made, some of them are based on the pattern of fa'alun, some of them are based on the pattern of fi'alun, and some of them are based on the pattern of af'alun, and then fa'ulun. Okay, so you
And
can
there are
see,
nouns.
yeah, these are given patterns, and that's how in Arabic you made the words. Remember we said the Arabic words are made of root words, root letters, and they have to follow a pattern, right? Those patterns are given here. That's why I give you this information so that you also look at it. And I'm glad you asked me that question. I didn't want it to voluntarily talk about it because we haven't covered these patterns yet, right? So let's quickly go through the vocabulary. So I was going into waladun. Waladun means a child. Auladun meaning children. Ibnun is son. Ibnaun, sons. Amun or ammun. Ammun is uncle. So amamun, then that is the plural of uncles. Zawjun. Zawjun means wife. Azwajun, wives or husbands. Meaning it's a plural of wives or spouses. So zawj is your spouse. For a female, it could be husband, and for a husband, it could be a female. So wife, and then that is how you say azwajun. So you don't say zawjuna, right? Zawuj or zawj. You're not gonna say zawjuna like muslimun or muslimuna. Remember how we said muslimun, muslimuna? Because this is the jama mukassar. Abun means father. Abaun is fathers. Now abaun, and next time when you're reading Quran, actually I can show you right now, basically, if you go to this verse here, okay, Wa'abaihim. Wa'abaihim. What is the meaning of Aba? Forefathers. You see? So now you can see the relationship, that why is important to learn this, because this is vocabulary and it will help you understand the verses. Kalamun means pen. Aklamun, pens. Babun. Babun is door. Abwabun, doors. Nahrun, river. हमारे उर्दू में कहते हैं नहर. Yes. Anharun. Anharun means rivers. Yawmun, a day. Ayyamun, days. Lawnun, color. Alwanun, colors. Matarun. Matarun means rain. Amtarun, lots of rain. Right? Waqtun. Waqtun means time. Awqatun. Awqat means times. तो हम कहते हैं ना कि Salah times, the awqat is what? The Salah, awqatun Salah. यानी Salah की जो timing है वो बता दे. The times of Salah, awqatun. Sahibun, sahibun is companion. Ashabun, companions. What is ismun? Are you guys with me or am I going too fast?
Yeah, okay.
It's good.
Fine.
Right. So if on your own time, if you can do the same thing, just by saying it loudly, you know, when you are sitting by yourself, and if you just say it loudly, then it will help you get it in your memory. So shaykhun, we know shaykhun means a sheikh. What is the plural of that? Shuyukhun.
Shuyukhun.
Shuyukhun. It's hard for me to say it. Okay, kalbun. I'm just skipping a few. Kalbun. What is kalbun?
Heart.
Heart.
So what will be the hearts? Ulubun. Najmun. Najmun is
Star.
stars. Nujumun, stars. Baytun, house. Buyutun, houses.
Houses.
Darsun, lesson. Durusun, lesson. Right? Okay. So
Brother Abed,
harfun, yes, brother.
Kalabun, and there is another kalab,
Yeah, that's a dog.
dog.
Yeah.
And it means they sound similar. How do we differentiate that when somebody is talking? You know.
That's why where our makharij is lacking, right? So it will be qalbun. You have to get it from the throat. Qalbun. Qalbun.
Kalb.
Right?
Kalab.
The other one is lighter, is kalab. Like English में club कहते हैं ना? C-L-U-B.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to take example of that dog, then say kalab, which is with the C. But if you want to say the heart, then say with the Q.
Kalab.
Kalab.
Yeah. So that is where we have to practice our makharij, because it has to come through the qalb here. This qaf is the letter of the throat. Qalb.
And kaf is a softer letter.
Yes. So the other kaf is like kafir, kafiruna. This is qalbun. You have to say heavier. Qalbun through your throat. I'm still practicing. This is one of my weak points from the people from Pakistan, India. The letters they have trouble with: the ha, the kha, sad, dad, zal, this qaf, and ha. There's a lot of letters we have trouble with these because we've been saying it wrong all along. Okay. Okay, let me see if I have other stuff to show you. Oh yes, this one, this verse. Did you guys read this?
Yes.
Okay, so now can you guys tell me what is going on here? What is the number here?
2, I think.
Jama. Jama Salim. Plural.
Jama. Because it's more than 2, right? And
Mudhakkar and Muannas.
Mudhakkar and Muannas. Now,
Yeah.
Muslimina, is it nasab or jar?
Nasab.
Both.
Nasab. So, innal muslimina wal muslimati. Now, why is it not a muslimatin?
Al.
We talked about, right?
Because of al.
Because
Wal.
it's lam.
Because of
Because
al.
of lam.
Because it's starting with al. The al makes it a proper noun. When you have a proper noun, the tanween drops. So innal muslimina wal muslimati wal mu'minina wal mu'minati wal qanitina wal qanitati. Do you know the meaning of these? Muslimina,
Muslim.
believing.
Yeah, Muslim men.
Believers.
The Muslim is the believing men and the believing women.
Women.
Believers and believer.
The believers, men, and the believing women. Mu'minina wal mu'minat. Wa qanitina. What is qanit? Qanitina. The word is qanit. Qanaat. They're content. They are humble people. Wa qanitina. उर्दू में क्या कहेंगे कानित को? कनात वाले ना? कनात का इंग्लिश में क्या तर्जुमा होता है? Contentment or content with whatever they have. They're content with it. Wasadikina, truthful men. Wasadikati, truthful women. Wasabirina, patient men. Wasabirati, patient women. Wakhashiina, fear of, having the fear of Allah in their heart, men. And khashiati, who are the fearful, having the fear of Allah, women. Wal mutasaddiqina, the men who give sadaqah. And wal mutasaddaqati, the women who give sadaqah. Was-sa'imina, the fasting men.
First.
Was-sa'imati, the fasting women. You making sense? Was-zakirina, what is zakirina? The men who remember Allah. Was-zakirati, the women who remember Allah. A'adda lahum maghfiratu ajran. So these are the characteristics of the men and women. We should be having these characteristics. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised us the maghfirah and a great reward. So we need to ponder on this verse. Do we have
what's frujahum?
Oh, these are wal hafizina furujahum mean their private part. They protect their private part, or they protect their chastity. Wal hafizat, meaning these are the men who protect their chastity and the women who protect their chastity. Furujahum is their private parts. Okay. So we in English we say chastity, right? We will say that they protect their chastity. They're not people of doing wrong. They are the people who do the halal stuff and not the haram stuff. So if we look at this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the characteristics of the men and women. He has promised for them maghfirah and a great reward. So who are these people? First of all, they are Muslim. They are obeying, like they submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muslim is the one who accepts Islam, who submits himself or herself to Islam. Mu'minin, believing men and believing. So remember, just by saying La ilaha, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, we become Muslim. But are we mu'min at that time? It's hard to say because the iman has not sinked in yet. Iman comes later with a lot of devotion and good deeds. So wal mu'minina wal mu'minat wal qanitina wal qanitat. Are we qanit? Are we content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us? Or are we stressed out that, oh, I wish I had that and I wish I had that? Or if somebody is good looking and somebody is not very good looking, they're worrying, oh, why Allah made me this way? So qanitina meaning, am I content with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me? And am I sadiq? Am I truthful? Am I truthful in my dealings? Am I truthful with my fellow Muslim? Am I truthful with my fellow community or even non-Muslim? Was-sabirina, am I a patient one? Right? So inshallah, ponder on this verse and try, let's hope that we say this in Arabic. Allahumma Rabbana ja'alna minhum. That, oh Allah, make us among these. What do we say? Allahumma Rabbana ja'alna minhum. That, Ya Allah, make us among these people. And we should say Ameen, right? Because this is our mission statement. This is our goal statement, that we want to be among these group of people so that we become become qualified for Allah's mercy, His maghfirah, and then the great reward. Right? And from the grammatic perspective, now you understand these are all the Jama Salim from numbers perspective for both male and female, and they are in the status of nasab. Yes? Gives you happiness, you feel happy, you feel that now you understand the meaning of this ayah without even looking at, even though some of the vocabulary is pretty apparent because these are all Urdu words, right? We have all these words in Urdu. If you're from Pakistan, India, then you know most of these words because they are Urdu words. Momin, Muslim, Qanit, Sadiq, Sabir. These are all Muslim, the Arabic Urdu words. Okay. So inshallah, Jazakallah khair for your time. I will be sending you some review material and maybe some exercises for Monday. So stay strong and keep doing your job. MashaAllah, I'm very happy to see that a bunch of you, actually most of you have submitted your homeworks. That's a good thing. It gives me a lot of confidence that you guys are listening to me. So inshallah, continue with this and may Allah reward you for all your hard work. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
I mean,
Wa alaikum
Wa alaikum
assalam.
assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.